Willkommen vor der Bühne, willkommen vor dem Bildschirm.
Welcome in front of the screens, in front of the stage, and welcome on stage our partners from Microsoft, represented by Hendrik. Our festival contribution is on ChatGPT. I think on this occasion we might not wonder who knows ChatGPT, who has ever used it. But why is this product of artificial intelligence so successful? First, it's very intuitive. It's very easy to use. You open the browser, enter a prompt, and get a response. The responses are of high quality, similar to human knowledge. Everything that we have known so far is not to be comparable. Now, the feature of AI allows us to build features around this application. So basically, everyone can use ChatGPT, can use its capabilities for their benefit. We could talk about the democratization of artificial intelligence in this case, and it's so easy to use and it's very performant, and this is why it is not without reason the fastest growing consumer application with more than 200 million users in a few months. Although we want to talk about the business context, we can say there is a new era, one before ChatGPT and a new one, a new era of artificial intelligence and its applications. It is about to start. And the science of this new era is also affected by a new market behavior. There are new tools, new brands, or new applications on a daily basis. So the potential is huge. Mike, before we talk about the potential, let us take a step back. Let's talk about bigger language programs, because ChatGPT is nothing else than that. And basically, what it can do good is to lead a conversation with us. A language model will be trained with a lot of data. With OpenAI, 50 terabyte of multilingual training data. And the result? A model with 175 billion parameters. What is a parameter? Well, imagine it's a connection between neurons in a brain. So the number of synapses. And what do these models do? Well, they generate text. And it is based on the data that they were fed with. And they do this word for word. So let me give you an example to show you how it works. It works on a very high level. So this is a prompt that we made. So I asked ChatGPT, what is the capital of Germany? And the true answer was the capital is Berlin. But how does it work before that? What is the process? So we need to generate the first word, and for that it takes a big dictionary. ChatGPT 3, they have more than 50,000 words and subwords, and they translate the words into figures, because a model always calculates. It doesn't read, it calculates. And then it looks at these meanings of the words in an abstract area of meaning, and this has more than 12,000 dimensions in ChatGPT 3. It's very hard to imagine. So synonyms can be close to each other in spatial thinking. And it takes this knowledge and its meaning. And what does it do with that? It understands how the words are in relation with each other when there's a prompt. So it creates a context of the words. So based on my prompt, we can see the word capital relates to Germany, and this is the core of the process that brings about the next word. So it calculates probability with all these 50,000 words in this dictionaries are searched through, and then it takes the one with the highest probability, not the one word with the highest probability, because some creativity is also calculated. And after that, the process starts again. But my prompt is not only a question, but it also includes the word the. And the result is a very impressive model. At the end of the day, a model can also tend to hallucinate, because they can always allocate probabilities, they can always generate text, and this text at the end of the day must be correct in terms of facts. Now, Christoph, you talk a lot about probabilities, but ChatGPT can also do more. They can also translate text, write poems, they can generate images, music, so we talk about generative AI. They can even pass tests. So it's basically statistics. Is this auto-completion, or do we see a real intelligence? So what we show you here is, we call it the popcorn test. So a short digression into science, it's a variant of the so-called false belief test. They are used for development stages with children and to classify them. Now, what happens here? There's a sample child, and they should estimate the behavior of a third party. And we have this box saying chocolate and popcorn is inside, and there's a third person, and the child must now estimate what the third person does when they see this box. And one answer would be clear. It's, they think it's popcorn because it says popcorn on the box. But beyond that point, there's a shift, and this child would then say no, it would expect chocolate because it says chocolate and doesn't know it's popcorn inside. So what we call empathy. So we as humans were able to create thinking machines, because the modules that are behind ChatGPT, they would also sit this test, and the best result was the same as a 9-year-old child. So it's a heated debate in the public, and science is taking part in this. If the progress towards AI is a bit too fast. Data privacy is on everybody's lips. How do they affect workspaces? Now, intelligence is an academic debate. We, at MHP, with our experts, we can do estimates, but we need to focus on the use cases and how to use these models first. Exactly. So, when designing these use cases, it's always about having the person at the core of our efforts, because we want to create co-pilots. And to create such AI solutions, we need strong partners. One of our strongest partners is Microsoft. On the one side, there is us with 200 AI experts that know in depth about the demands, requirements, end-to-end data-driven solutions and its implementation. On the other side, there is Microsoft with an Azure cloud platform, which is easy, performant, and can provide AI capabilities. And at the same time, we maintain data privacy. This is an example. The models of OpenAI can be used in a secure and independent system. They don't flow back to AI or are not used for AI training. Right, Christoph. And we love to work with you with MHP to be active in the market. When we look at use cases currently, we have seen during the last 6 months in the journey, we identified 3 groups of use cases. The first group would be all about cost efficiency, automation, being quicker, using intelligence so that use cases are more performant. It must be feasible, easy to describe, and easy to implement. Now there's a second layer. We see new services, new products. Where can we use AI to market new products that are not available at the moment? Usually we need more time when it comes to conception. We need to run more tests and have a longer time to market. Our top tier is clearly everything which is disruptive. Disruptive use cases. We ponder how can we change the market in the long term, how can we disrupt the market by means of a new service, a new use case. And let's talk about one use case in the bottom line, ChatGPT for company knowledge. Now, together with Porsche AG, we published a specific article, and we talked about the architecture, what happens behind that. But the idea is all about creating a chatbot, which refers to data that's available. So we tell the chatbot exactly what they should refer to, what they actually do. Well, they even provide sources, so the user can even comprehend the documents that were referred and can maybe deep dive into these documents and do a fact check. Now, the use cases for these applications are immense, are basically everywhere where information is processed or searched for. So basically, information in forms of PDFs, presentations, but also videos and images.
Ich möchte auch erstmal bei der bottom line bleiben, und zwar aus
I would also like to stick with the bottom line from a productivity perspective. Now, this is the first product which we made up at Microsoft based on AR algorithms and models. It's GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot was launched as an idea in 2020, and we had 250 developers that were allowed to test it. And often we heard the word mind-blowing, because what does GitHub Copilot do, actually? Well, looking at the product itself, it helps developers to generate code, and it works very, very well. So with user syntax, developers write comments here in this. For example, they want to learn the runtime of a process, and ChatGPT understands the context where they move the language and proposes a complete use case. So we can see with 30,000 developers within Microsoft Online, we have seen there we have 10,000 external developers, and we learned that 50% of code can be generated with AI based on these modules. We see more opportunities with stages with 80% of automated code generation. The biggest benefit for developers in the future is they can stick with their interface, they can stick in their workflows, they don't have to look in external portals for information. They can use a concentrated user interface, and have a big benefit in terms of productivity. And if we have a pragmatic approach here, we have a team of 100 developers that have a 10% of productivity increase. We know how many developers can be added to our performance virtually. The second use case shows you a more visionary approach. It's a use case that we currently use in a banking context, and we are testing it at the moment. It's all about the things we talked about earlier. It's all about redesigning customer experience with OpenAI. It would be quite easy if we were to think about a call center. Well, you call someone, we analyze call center calls, and then create automated summaries. In this use case, let me show you the high-end solution. We use an avatar with a synthetic voice, and they can ask questions, concluding questions in the case of a call center. So run the video. Welcome at Baptoso. I'm Frank, your personal consultant. How can I help you? Which accounts do you offer? We offer the following bank accounts: a free of charge Konto, a standard account, and a service platinum account, and a start account for students, pupils, and apprentices. So to give you a feeling, this use case was made in a few weeks. This is one of my employees, actually, not a professional actor. We used a high PC, we used a microphone, and we still were able to generate a high-class service. And it all bases on OpenAI, Microsoft technology, and the Microsoft Cloud. And now I would be interested in the use cases that we can draft together with MHP. Now, over to you, Mike. Thanks, Hendrik. It's very impressive what we just saw. What is possible today? We can process knowledge more efficiently. We can see how it supports our daily work. Customer service can be revolutionized. And of course, visionary use cases. So we can't assess the future conclusively because the market is very dynamic, but we can try to make a short outlook. So nowadays we already see how these language models work and how we interact with them. This will change. We can talk about the convergence between human and machines. So when we adapt this to our core product, imagine a language model as an ultimate interface between humans and machines and would be integrated in a car. That would be a completely different digital experience. A vehicle which understands you, but also understands itself. Let me give you two examples. A longer ride on the motorway, and there is a signal, a warning signal, of course. Personally, you might be concerned and ask the system, what should I do? And the vehicle says, it's just cooling water. You can refill it at the next filling station. Next scenario, driver, while driving, they want to work on their presentation. This deep integration would mean they have access to the camera data. So that the model, after a while, would say, the agent in the car, shouldn't we interrupt working on the presentation because you seem tired, you seem exhausted. So this interaction shows that a product which still has a high identification value, in the future we could use AI and improve customer experience and design it more sustainably and personally. And this is an exciting outlook into the future, I must say. And on that note, we are almost at the end of our presentation. We would like to end our presentation with a call upon you. Everything is huge, and it's a huge idea. We need to carry this idea, convey this idea to our customers. And it's not all about the AI experts at our companies. It's also about the domain knowledge. So we are looking forward to spend the time at the MHP Festival and to talk with you about these issues, about how we can convey this to our customers. One thing is for sure, a better tomorrow includes AI. Thank you very much.